Hey everybody, it's Katie, VSG for the Real Me, coming in for my week 11 update. So happy Halloween. That is this coming Saturday, and it's one of my favorites. I love Halloween. The thumbnail that I put for this video, which one's scarier, the before pic or my Halloween makeup from this weekend? I'm gonna go with the before pic. Anyway, let's get into the stats. I am 5'3". Let's see if I can, is that better? My high weight was 306, surgery weight 271. My weight last week was 237. My current weight is 236. That's a loss of 1 pound for the week. Since surgery, that's 35 pounds, and total since beginning the process is 70 pounds. 80 pounds from my absolute highest that I know of. So I'm excited about that loss. Finding Elizabeth was nice enough to celebrate that with me and Lindsay and Amy on the Naked Truth last night. That was cool. I only lost 1 pound this week, but I'm okay with that. You know, I had a really big loss last week and just trying to get back on the wagon this week, and I think I've done okay. I worked out 3 times this past week. I'm happy about that. Brought my husband with me the last time, not today. I went to the gym this morning, and it's so funny. He was really not doing his best. Like, I was kicking his ass at the gym. And at one point I showed him this ab machine that I can't even do. And like, he just has to prove that he can do it. So he had it set on some ridiculous weight, and I thought his friggin' head was gonna pop off his shoulders. His entire body turned red, but he did 3 of them. I said, man, you'll do anything to prove a point to me, won't you? Because he has no abs either, okay? That thing is impossible. Anyway, I brought my mother with me today. She's 60 years old, and she's always been very tiny. I always thought of her as being strong because she just was one of these people who were born with great muscle tone. She has an athletic build. People always ask her, do you work out? No. All she does is eat fucking candy and cookies. It's so unfair. I could do a whole video on growing up with that woman as it relates to my weight. Anyway, it's funny though because she's kind of frail nowadays, and she almost fell off the treadmill a few times. She had it on like 1.4 speed and she said she had to run. It was so funny. Anyway, that was interesting. As far as my eating, I feel like I've got it back on track. You know, last week I kind of fell off the wagon because I was so busy, and I just wasn't eating and I wasn't drinking. This week I'm eating properly. I don't like the way this camera is. Anyway, I'm eating properly, but I'm not drinking enough at all. I mean, I'm probably getting halfway there. It's a problem. I got so like, it was so nice not to have to worry about drinking those couple of days that I just didn't have time to. That's the thing I wanted to talk about today is falling off the wagon. And I talked about last week how you know, we don't need to have so much guilt over when we make mistakes and stuff, because we're gonna make mistakes. We need to just tell ourselves it's okay, we're human, and then, you know, get back on the wagon, which I totally, you know, believe that. but falling off the wagon and getting back on is hard. So that's why it's even more important not to have all that guilt holding you back. Because, I mean, how many times have you felt like, ugh, fuck it all. I've totally, you know, sabotaged everything. And, you know, so, I don't know. Basically, it's hard enough to get back on the wagon without having all the guilt and stuff. So try to get past that and just get back to it. And that's what I've been really trying to do this week. And like I said, I worked out 3 times. I have been eating right. I just haven't been drinking enough. I have been taking my vitamins for the most part. So anyway, it's coming back. It's just taking some time, which is, you know, maybe why I had a 1 pound loss this week. Not getting my fluids in and whatever. I don't know. I don't care. It's going to come off. So today is my 2-year wedding anniversary. I was married 2 years ago, and so my husband's at work all day, and then tonight I have class, so we don't have really any time to celebrate. So over the weekend we went out to a party with friends, and I got all dressed up for it was a witch theme party, so I was a witch, and that was super fun. To me, just getting dressed up and wearing the fun makeup and fun clothes and everything is awesome. But I had a glass of wine. Last week I told you guys, like, I'm so ready to start drinking again. Yeah. I was supposed to wait until next week. I had a glass of wine. I had 1 glass of white wine. And, you know, maybe red wine would have been better. I don't know. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it. You know, if you were married to my husband for 2 years, you'd want to drink too. Let's see. So I started losing my hair. Last week I had that kind of a big loss, 4 pounds in like a day, 5 pounds for the week. And my nutritionist, when I asked her several months ago, like, when to expect hair loss, she said after your first big loss, besides the beginning, you know, and she was right. I have noticed, though, it was worse towards the beginning of last week than it is now. So I think maybe I don't know, maybe it comes and goes. But I'm losing it. I'm losing my hair. And I'm not freaked out about it yet. It is definitely on my mind. I try not to. I play with my hair. I'm a hair player. And I've been trying not to do that. I've been trying not to just screw with it too much. And hopefully they won't just fall out. Anyway. So I did a little math and discovered that I've been losing about 3.5 pounds on average a week. And so it looks like I might be able, if I can keep that up, which, you know, I know it gets harder as time goes on, but I might be able to be in Wonderland by the start of 2016. And that would make me so happy. That would be great. You know, I had that video where I did my 1-year goals, and I wanted to lose 100 pounds in the first year. Now, this is not this December wouldn't be the first year, but just getting into Wonderland before the end of this year or before the beginning of next year, I think would be pretty good, and help me on my way to having that 100-pound loss in a year. But I checked that list of goals that I set for myself, and I'm like halfway through my 1-year goals at 11 weeks post-op. And my most favorite one, I don't know if it's my favorite one, but my most recent one is over the weekend when I was all dressed up like a witch. I wore some booties, and if you're my friend on Facebook, you saw it. I posted a picture yesterday. I didn't die. They had a wedge for a long time. I have ankle problems, and was over 300 pounds. Wearing heels was very, very difficult. So I just didn't. Even wedges or anything. The craziest I would get would be like a wedge flip flop, and I've actually twisted my ankle wearing those. So it was pretty amazing that I was able to wear it all night long. A lot of walking on crazy New Orleans streets and sidewalks that are very uneven and super dangerous in heels. I did just fine. My toes were very sore yesterday, but I did it. I made it through. So I just don't like the way that this angle is. It's bad. So that was really great. I'm a shoe lover, and the last several years I've only been able to wear like the super comfort shoes and no cute shoes, and that has like killed my spirit. It's been sad for me, very sad. So that was really cool. So I wanted to talk a little bit about relationships and how they change post-op. Now, I've been very fortunate that my friends are supportive of me. I don't feel embarrassed about anything around them. Everybody has known what I've been struggling with and what I've done about it, and they're great. They're all skinny, little tiny people, and the friends that I have now, I've met them as an adult, so I was overweight our whole relationship, and losing weight has not changed anything. They have always accepted me for who I was, even without taking into account my appearance. And I think I'm really fortunate to have friends like that. However, I don't have family like that. I have an interesting relationship with my siblings, I guess you could say. I'm the youngest of four. My sister, I have two brothers and a sister. My oldest brother's not really in the picture. But my sister is 7 years older than me. And we fight a lot. She does messed up stuff to me, and I don't put up with it. She does messed up stuff to everybody, and everybody puts up with it. But I don't. And so it's not unusual for us not to be speaking. And my brother, he is 2 years older than me, my younger of the two, and he has an issue with everything I do. He is very, he's a bit of a bigot towards overweight people and other people. I'm not going to get into all of that, but he's the only one that really gave me a hard time about the decision that I made to have surgery. He told me that he knows someone that had the surgery and it was the worst mistake of their life and blah, blah, blah. It's funny because every few years he'll get upset with me for doing something kind of drastic, and then in a few years he'll be totally cool with it and doing it himself. I don't know if he'll ever have weight loss surgery because he's never been as overweight as me. I mean, he is overweight, but for a guy, I think he's totally fine with where he's at, and whatever. Very unhealthy, very unhealthy. He told me before surgery, he was fighting with me. He said that it's totally clear just by looking at you that you're unhealthy, referring to the fact that I was fat. And I just thought, man, how unfair is it? Because I, even before surgery, constantly worried about everything I put in my mouth. Constantly was trying to eat healthy and do the right thing. And, it was, I feel like, you know, and I would go to the doctor regularly. I was treating my high blood pressure and all my other issues. And here's my brother, who is overweight, but not really so much for a guy, who works at a sausage factory, a smokehouse, and basically lives on the shit that he makes at work. Very fatty stuff. Very like, sometimes he gives me sausage and I don't even eat it because it's so greasy. But he lives on this shit with, you know, he puts it, you know, mixes it with tons of eggs and butter and grits and, you know, just like piles of this greasy mess. And he lives on this stuff. And he smokes 2 packs a day. And he, you know, he just lives a very unhealthy life. He has high blood pressure. He doesn't see a doctor. He doesn't treat it. You know, we have medical history in our family that he can't be playing around with like that. But he has the benefit of not looking as fat as I do or did. And so he could just make that statement to me and feel okay about it. I don't know. So anyway, we're just now talking again. But really what I wanted to talk about was my sister. I have not seen her since pre-op. Now we were fighting for a month or two, maybe a month or so, because of some shit she started. Anyway, it's always her. I swear to you, it's always her. But so she has not seen me, and after a while, I started to think about it, and I bet she doesn't want to see me. Now, we did see each other just the other day. This past week, we saw each other. But that's the first time. And she's always been thin and very attractive. Although in the last few years, she's put on weight. And she's definitely aging. I mean, she's 7 years older than I am. And you know, she smokes, so she's getting this crow's feet and all this stuff. And I think her appearance is really going downhill because of the cigarette smoke. She worked in a smoky environment as well. Anyway, that's what she's always had over me, was that she was the pretty one. She, you know, I've had boyfriends who are like, oh, your sister's hot, you know, so that's always so fun. And guy friends, they always like to point that out. Not so much anymore, because like I said, she's not looking as good. But at least in her mind, she was thinner than me. You see, because I should say she's kind of a dumbass. And she always comes to me for advice. She always wants to know my opinion on everything, even though she doesn't like to hear it when I tell her. She doesn't like to make a move in life without finding out what I think. And I think that she looks to me almost like you would, you know, an older sibling. Like, what would Katie do? What would I don't know. But for her self-esteem, the only thing that she had over me in her mind was that she was prettier and thinner. And I think that is why she has not come to see me. Well, she came over and she told me, after I told her how much I lost, how much I weigh, she's like, oh, you only need to lose like 20 more pounds then, right? And I was like, no. I said, you know, to be in a healthy BMI, I'm supposed to be like, I don't know, something ridiculous like 127 or 130, which is never, I don't think, that's never going to happen. But I just thought that was so funny, because it was like she's concerned. She doesn't want me to weigh less than her. So she's put on a few pounds, and I think she's like 160 right now. She's taller than me. And she's she's very concerned that I am going to, or she's not going to have that over me anymore. This is just the sense that I get from the comment that she made about, you know, she did not want to hear that I'm going to get anywhere close to her weight. I don't know. You know, it's Paula. Anyway, that's the relationship with my sister. I could do like a whole mini series on all of our shit, but let me just this video is already super long, so let me wrap that up, and I want to just talk a little bit about the weight loss community and what it is meant to me throughout this process. Like I said, I have really great friends, and for the most part my family is really supportive, not my siblings, but everybody else, but none of them have gone through this. None of them understand, and they really don't want to hear me. I want to talk about it all the time. You know, my husband the other day, I told him how my videos are always really long. He's like, why? And before really thinking about what I was, you know, I was going to give him some spiel about why it's really long. And then, but without thinking, I just kind of blurted out that, well, it's because I can't talk to anybody else about it, you know? And that really hit home for me. Like, that's a big thing. Nobody wants to hear about it 24 hours a day. And there's always all these little things that happen and you know, that you go through. And I just can't talk to any of them about it. They don't understand. And before I could talk about it, I'd have to explain so many other things and to get them to kind of remotely understand. And by the time I do that, their eyes are glazed over and, you know, they're bored with it. They're not listening. So having you guys, being able to hear your journeys, prepare myself for what's to come, and to even to give advice to people who are, you know, in some of the earlier stages, all of that stuff, it's great because I'm able to talk about it with you people and you guys understand, and, you know, we can have a discourse, you know, about it. It's just, it's meant a lot to me, and I really, I need it. And, you know, I hope to one day meet a lot of you people. And anyway, it's helped me a great deal, and I recommend it to everybody going through the process to watch videos, make videos. If I didn't make these videos, like I force myself to be 100% honest on all of my videos, mainly for me, to know, you know, to feel accountable, like I mentioned last week, because when I come on here and I say I didn't work out all week, that tells me, saying it out loud, admitting it on a video, it tells me it's time to go to the gym. You know, it's time to get your ass in gear. And so everything about this community and how we you know, how we make videos and how we interact has just been invaluable. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm rambling and I'm all over the place, but that's it. I will see you next week. All right, bye.